It's the day before the eclipse. It's about 50 freedom units outside, also known as 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm hanging out outside right now, walking around, trying to get some blood flow to my sinus area and to get some steps in, because I really didn't do much today. So getting some steps in will help. I did take a quick walk. No, that was yesterday that I took a quick walk to the store. Today I mostly stayed in the house. It's Sunday. I like staying in the house on Sundays. You can watch some baseball. You can watch some NASCAR. I watched some Formula One this morning. That was fun. I was going to go to bed, but then I was like, yeah, I might as well since it's on at 1 a.m. And I was up still. I was like, all right, I'll throw it on after Sports Center. And then, boom, there you go. Formula One, Japanese Grand Prix, red flag, lap 1. I have been recovering from a cold that I had, and unfortunately, it feels like something happened where something stuck in my lower left sinus, where basically it just feels stuck there, and I'm waiting for it to come out, and it's incredibly painful. It is some of the most painful 10 out of 10 pain I've had. And like, I had pain when I was, actively fighting off the virus, which I still probably am, because viruses, the symptoms linger for a little while after, while you're still getting rid of that residual virus and everything. It is what it is. Worked on that project that I got to do for my final, for my one class. Halfway done with it. So I'll probably bust out the rest of it tomorrow morning or Tuesday. Depending on what time I get up. If I get up at a decent time tomorrow, I'll probably just bust it out, make copies of the observation sheet logs, and hand all that in, which will be great. Then I got another final project that's due in a couple of weeks, but it's just basically making a presentation about something. And I don't want to start that till Friday. Mainly because I'm focusing on other stuff. And I could probably bust that out in about 2 hours, 3 hours. Because essentially what it was is we had to collect the data already. And then I already have the data. And then the professor gave me feedback and was like, you got great data. I just forgot to include like two things. I just forgot to do two little things. So I ended up getting a 90 on it, which was fine. Because, 27 points for that. And then 14 points out of the other stuff that we've done. So 27 plus 14 is 37, 41. And then 25 points for participation, because that's what we have. And I know I'm going to get the 25 points for participation. So that's going to be 66. So 34 points. So if I could get 100, but I can't get 100 because I'm missing some points. But it's fine. So I know that I'll be able to bust it out and do it really well. And film it on my PowerPoint, or film it with a PowerPoint camera and everything. Something cool I learned how to do recently. Might actually film a different PowerPoint about some other stuff to just have it on YouTube. Kind of think that would be an interesting thing. Maybe I'll do a PowerPoint about every Shakespearean sonnet. I don't know. Just do a long video analyzing every Shakespearean sonnet, which would be fun. That would be like a summer thing. I'm taking 2 summer classes. I'm taking a geohazards and a lab, or a fossil. Yeah, it's an earth science and the lab for it, and then literature of migration. Literature of migration is going to count for my world literature credit. I have other world lit credits and diverse lit credits, but this one's going to be really cool because I think the literature of migration is going to be interesting, and I'm hoping we can read some literature from the indigenous Americans who were forced to move, the literature from other people who were forced to move, as well as literature from people who chose to move. Because remember, migration is something that humans have chosen to do in the past and have required others to do in the past, because, you know, the Pilgrims, their literature is technically literature of migration, but any Native American, American indigenous literature from like the Trail of Tears is literature of migration. And then the science, I got to take 2 sciences. The other one I'm taking in the fall is nutrition. I'm taking that online, which I have a feeling it'll be easy. What else am I doing? What else am I doing this week? Oh yeah, on Tuesday, I was going to do it tomorrow, but because of the solar eclipse, I can't. But on Tuesday, I'm heading down to the car rental place, now that I have a debit card with a chip in it and everything. Heading down to the car rental place, I'm going to rent a car to do Uber with for a couple weeks. Plan is to probably do it for 2 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. And build up some funds. I'd like to have about $1,500 to $2,000 just extra, just lying around from it. I'll have some money coming in the summer, which is great. Haven't monetized on YouTube yet, but I'm almost at 900 hours of watch time in the last 365 days right now. I think I'm at 850 as of the last day that it looked. Which is really good, which is really, really good. My Mariners videos are doing all right. My shorts are doing all right. Been thinking about stuff. So if you remember, if you've been following me for a while since I started on TikTok, if you remember back in 21 when I had 68 million views in 12 months, if you remember that, I was thinking about, why haven't I been able to recreate that since? 22, I had like 34 million. 23, I had 20-some million. I'm still averaging over 38 million views per year, even as of right now, which is amazing. But, like, it's going down, down, down every year. Then I was like, oh, right. I was unemployed, not in school, doing basically nothing through 21 other than basically surviving the pandemic and dealing with family obligations. I had to, oh my God, the amount of times I had to take care of my grandparents. It was wild. That whole situation was wild. Plus, there was the lawsuit. There was the whole SWIFT thing. And then I went back to school in 22, and 22 changed everything. So instead of being like, and then I got a job also in 22. That led to the alcoholism. That directly led to the alcoholism because the job was at a bar. The bar encouraged us to try the liquor, try the beer, because it was, you know, all that. Frequently, people would be like, hey, I'll buy you a shot, and I'd take the shot. Half the time, the people I was working with were drunk. It was wild. It was wild, but I also had way less time to do stuff because in school full-time, plus working basically 36 to 40 hours a week for most of 2022. Then I got hurt in early 23, but I was still drunk all the time, and it was a whole thing of nonsense. But then I went and was like, okay, we're going to focus heavily on school. And I focused hard on school. And, like, I got a lot done, and I didn't really focus much on making content. I would make some here and there. And then, obviously, the summer months, your views go down. That's just the thing. In the summer months, there's less views to go around. So this season, this Mariners season, I'm expecting to have some views here and there, some views. It is some days I might get 5, some days I might get 50. It all depends. And, like, I got, like, 4,000 subs almost. And I did see that there are some people that have notifications turned on. I think that's really cool. And obviously, I know I don't expect you to watch every video. I upload so much. And you might not care about the Mariners. I'm probably going to do stuff for football season, too. But I'm not going to try to become, like, a football content creator. It'll probably just be Bills/Colts stuff whenever I watch. Whereas this Mariners stuff, I've been really enjoying getting into it. There's a game basically every day. There's always something to talk about. Plus, I hang out in r/Mariners all the time. Game thread, daily thread, post-game thread. Very upset about today's game, losing 12-4. That was just an upsetting game. All right, so now I'm out here, still out here, and my sinus is feeling a little better. And I don't know what exactly caused it, because I took Dayquil, I took Advil, I took an antihistamine. Probably shouldn't have mixed that with Dayquil, but at this point I was willing to do anything. I put some ice on it for a few minutes, and I'm out here. Kind of out in nice weather. It's cool. cool, like the temperature cool. It's coolish, which is nice. Short breeze. There's a Pokestop not too far from here that actually from this yard I can kind of sometimes spin, which is nice. I walked 25 kilometers with Pokemon Go this week, which is nice. My campus has tons of Pokestops, gyms, all sorts of stuff. I'm always playing Pokemon Go during my downtime. Like, I go, like, if I get to school early and have a meal before class or after class, I sit down, Pokemon Go is open. Just boom, we're playing Pokemon Go. And it's great because what you can do is build up stuff. I always end up building up my field research while I'm doing that and my special research. I actually was able to get the mini and maximum or small and big or whatever it was special research done this week. I didn't do the bagon, whatever that is. I didn't do that whole thing because I didn't feel like just sitting at one Pokestop or taking a walk or anything. I don't like leaving the house on Sunday. Obviously, sometimes I have to, but it is what it is. A couple weeks from today, there's a convention at my school that the club I'm in runs that I'll probably be going to. Even though I live close to school, I might get myself a hotel for about 4 days, 5 days, just to have a space to myself, without anybody that's near there, and I can stay the whole night. So that's partially what I'm trying to get the money from by driving Uber. And on top of that, another thing I'm trying to do is I'm trying to at some point get to the Mariners-Yankees game this year, which is at the end of May. So if I can make up, it's $1,000 for a hotel plus $200 round trip on a train, plus like, well, let's just call it $200 for tickets and food at the ballpark, plus another $200 for plus another $500 for miscellaneous. So like $2,000. So that's a stretch goal. But Mariners will play the Yankees next year too. So if my YouTube's monetized and everything by then, that money will probably go towards that. Especially because this YouTube, I'm not trying to make a career out of YouTube. I just like to make extra cash. Cash is cool. Because once I finish my schooling, my master's degree at the end of 2027, I should be able to slot into a job making about $55,000 a year with retirement and everything. But having that extra cash on YouTube, let's say hypothetically I make $55,000 a year on working, and then $12,000 a year on YouTube. That's $67,000. That $12,000 I can do a couple of different things with. Obviously, I'll pay taxes. Let's just say I have an extra $12,000 in a year. I could pay some taxes with that. I could add it to a retirement account. I could maybe take one vacation over the summer for like a week. I could put it into savings. I could help buy stuff. I'm also, like, from what I understand, when my grandparents die, there's an annuity that I get, which is going to be complicated. But, like, I'm not, like, worried about that in terms of, like, income that I'll have, because my grandparents, their health is just deteriorating constantly. And, like, it sucks. And, like, they don't do anything about it. Like, my grandmother, the other day, the last time I saw her, instead of measuring her insulin, she just injected it based off vibes. My grandpa falls down all the time, and they don't go to the nursing home. And it's like, it's frustrating that they don't go to the nursing home. They'd probably live longer and healthier lives if they did. Which, is good. I've been thinking about dogs. The dog died recently. I'd like to get a new one, but it's not entirely up to me about getting a new one. I want a border collie. I love border collies. Had one as a kid. Actually, technically, I had two as a kid, but the one was my mom's that she bought when she was younger, and then she had me, and that dog lived like 3 years while I was alive. But I knew the dog. It was a nice dog. She was a nice dog. And then the other dog was an amazing dog. I loved that dog. And then the dog that just died, we had a complicated relationship because I wasn't ready for a new dog when we got her. It was a whole thing. What else is happening today? Not much. But yeah, no school tomorrow because of the eclipse. So I'll probably make a video about the eclipse. I don't know if I'll show the eclipse, but I'll definitely talk about it. I think eclipses are cool. Eclipses are cool because, you know, it's something, it's a cool phenomena. We have eclipse glasses, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't want to be like some of the people last time in 2017 who just looked right up at the eclipse with no glasses on. If you are going to look at the eclipse, wear eclipse glasses. Do not drive with eclipse glasses on. Make sure that if you are not in a safe place to view the eclipse, that you find a safe place or you just continue on. A large number of people have traveled for the eclipse to plenty of areas. I will not be traveling because I happen to live in the path. If there's another North American solar eclipse at some point in the future and I have the money to go to it, I might travel, depending on when it is.